Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Shai Bashim, Makabadash. Shalom to the hopefully left out there. This is going to be a sort of open forum. I don't really have a subject, but I was kind of Xing out some of these tabs here. And I ran across this one. And this is Open Bible Info .info topics UFOs. So right before I typed in UFOs, it was reincarnation, and I give you scriptures on reincarnation. Oh, by the way, I'm going to entitle this video "The Top Christian Scholars Are Watching Us," because if they wasn't, they wouldn't be putting these precepts together. And I'm getting ready to go through this list, breeze through it. We all know these scriptures by heart. And let me see where the Spirit takes me to other topics and so forth. So you got the topic, and then you have another topics. What does the Bible say about UFOs? Now look what popped up: 100 Bible verses about UFOs. The very first precept is Ezekiel 1:1-28. And it describes in detail the ships that the angels were in. Ezekiel 1, like I said, start from the first verse. Zechariah 5. We pretty much start with Zechariah 5. So you got Zechariah 5, verses 1 and 2. Again, I lifted up the prophet Zechariah. Again, I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, a flying roll. So what do you see? A UFO, a UAP, a flying saucer, whatever you want to call it. A plane, flying scroll. It says scroll in the Hebrew, but in the King James, it's roll. So it was like kind of like the shape of a bus. And he said to me, what do you see? I answered, I see a flying scroll. Its length is 20 cubits and its width 10 cubits. Like it'll be like the shape of a small bus or a cargo van. Ezekiel 1, that's the same scripture. First scripture, Zechariah 5 again. Look at that, 2 Kings 2, verse 11. And as they still went on and talked, that was Elijah and Elisha. That was Abba and our high priest Ariah in their former lives. Behold, chariots of fire and horses of fire separated the two of them, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. Now you got these Christians, you got like vocab. Well, if he went up in a chariot to heaven, then how can he be born as John? Because just like Enoch, he was translated, meaning to give you an idea, paint a picture for you, or give you an idea. Star Trek for years, the original Star Trek, the newer version that is Captain Picard and all that. Star Trek, the Next Generation, they always use that same, what is it called? To transport your body from the ship to a planet. So Captain Kirk would say, beam me up, Scotty. And what would happen was his body would disintegrate, if you will, and the spirit is shot into the ship. And then the same number of elements are brought back together, the pigment, the bones, and everything. So that body that he had on another planet was dead and gone. But he has a new, the same body, because it's the same elements, the same I'm not a scientist or nothing like that, but the body was left there, and there was a new body formed that looked just like the body that he previously had. So what shot up into the ship? What was transported into the ship? The spirit. So Esau knows that there's a spirit in man. They definitely know that. They know that when you die, the time when you're living, and they know you're about ready to die, you're in a hospice. They weigh you weigh a certain weight, and when you die, you lose. I believe somebody helped me out. I'm not gonna look for it. There was a movie on it. I think it's 28 grams, if I'm not mistaken, which is like almost an ounce. I used to deal with. I used to buy so like gold, actual gold and silver jewelry. So you had to know about grams and ounces and so forth. So you would be that much lighter when you died, from the time that you were living to the time you expired. Uh, you would be that much lighter. So the spirit has mass to it. So going back to the Star Wars series, them being beamed up is just to stay taking the spirit, and they're giving you the same elements, your height, your your the pigment, the color of your skin, the same clothes. So that's what happened. See, Esau knows that, but Esau can't do it. They can't make it. The Scotty on how I can make it, inside joke. Okay, so here's another one, Isaiah 60, verse 8. Who are these that fly like a cloud? The Lord was shot up into a cloud, right? He was beamed up, so you can understand, into the into the into a cloud, and the two men in white, which were angels, told the apostles, why stand ye looking up, gazing into the heavens? The same way your Lord was taken up, the same way he's coming back. And that's also in Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13, Revelation 12, you know, uh, Daniel 12. So this place, the Lord, led by the angels, led by the Lord, will invade this place called the planet Earth, and beam up the elect and destroy the people that are not beamed up on this continent, which is Babylon the Great, which will be the lake of fire. The lake of fire, you got these clown Israelites teaching that the lake of fire is hell. You got another guy, I can find him, but I'm not. He's teaching the hell doctrine. You got a lot of these Israelites now slowly starting to teach about a hell doctrine, which they're off. Okay, Genesis 6. Oh, yeah, you can say that these UFOs, but it really, because they think that these Nephilims, the giants and so forth, Nephilims are actually angels that came down from heaven in ships. No, it's not talking about that. It's talking about the sons of the Most High. Nephilim translate into the word fallen ones. We were the fallen ones. What made us fall? Adam and Eve. There it is again. Like, let me do something. Let me take the word Nephilim. See, we can completely successfully navigate throughout the whole book, the scriptures and the Apocrypha. People get lost. We have the keys. You got the keys. How Lindsay, two most horrific slave owners. Okay, so I'm over here. Let me pull this over here. Okay, what the hell are that? What the hell are that? Bear me for a minute. Okay, what I wanted to do was get change this into a okay, boom. You look up the word Nephilim. Okay, so let's go to the NIV. Okay, now let's go to copy King James. There were giants in the earth. I got to come up above that. The corruption of mankind, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God are the Israelites, but they were called the sons of God. And son Israel, loosely translated, means sons of God. A prince is also a son. So we went from you can say Bunyam Allah, or sons of God, to Yashur Allah, princes of God. Prince and son mean the same thing. If you're a prince, you are also a son. So we were called Hebrews, and then we were called sons of God. Then we were called Israelites. So you got vocab and clowns like that saying, well, was Abraham? Abraham wasn't an Israelite. Abraham was an Israelite. He came back as an Israelite, reincarnated, but he would be known as a Hebrew or one of the sons of God, one of the sons of the Allah. That the sons of God, which are Israelites, this was their name before they were Israelites, saw the daughters of men, meaning of the other nations, that they were fair. And we all deal with that. I know I am. I see them other nations, women, they be looking good. And that's that mixing. And they took them wives of all which they chose. And see, we dealt with women in the past of different nations, because did with Jacob, right? Jacob got with actually Rachel and Leah were not even Israelites. I mean, this was before Israel, but they were sort of kind of sons of God, daughters of God, but they had the concubines. So they were laying with other nations. Ishmael came out of women from another nation. Moses, he married a woman of another nation. Read about the Midianites in Numbers, either Numbers 30 or Numbers 31. I believe it's Numbers 30. It said, kill the men, kill the boys, kill the women that were married, but save the little ones, the girls. Why that? Because they were marrying them. They were having Israelite boys and girls from the Midianite women that grew up. They let them grow up, let them develop, and then they popped them, and they became their wives. Wives simply mean woman. That's all it means. Look up the word wife in the scriptures and go to the Hebrew, and the word for wife is woman, Ayasha, which is the feminine form of Ayash, which is man. Even Arab, that this Arab guy said, how do you say man in Arabic? He said, Aish, how do you say it? I said, how do you say woman? He said, Aisha, Aisha. That's Hebrew. It says, and the Lord said, my spiritual not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. And now it's 80 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after. Matter of fact, let me go to giants. Let me click on giants. This is why you got to go to the Hebrew. See, I was listening to a video with vocab, and there was Uncle Tom's with him, and they were going over the encounter they had with the Detroit IUIC, and there was Elder Mike that said, I said the original book was not written in English; it's in the Greek and the Hebrew, but the IUIC doesn't really go by that. So if you want to go by that, Elder Mike, then what is hell? What does it mean by hell? Well, let's go to the Hebrew and let's go to the Greek. It means the grave. So the word for giant here is napayal, napayal. Nefel, napayal. Okay, they're just saying giants, the Nephilims. You just want to go to the root. Nepal, actual Nepal or the giants actually translates into fall, lie, to be cast down. Right, the fallen ones. Who were the fallen ones? The fallen ones were the sons of Adam. They fell because Adam fell when he partook of that fruit, which is not an actual fruit. They failed. Fall out. So that's what it means. The fallen ones, meaning the sons of God that fell from the Most High, that did contrary to what the Most High wanted them to do. They got with women of the other nations. This is all basic stuff to us because we go over this again and again and again. So it says the fallen ones, which were the sons of Adam, the direct sons of Adam, the royal line of Adam, let's say, were, and this was before, well, as you read on in the 6th verse, it speaks about Noah. Matter of fact, let me do this. Come back to this. Let me see here. See, the Most High got mad at him, so he said, I'm going to kill everybody. I'm just going to save 8 people. Let me come down here to the, and behold, I do bring a flood. So that's where Noah comes in. See, thus did Noah, according to all that the Most High commanded him, so did he. So he said, you're going to be saved, Noah. And by the way, the word Noah, Nawak, means comfort. And Noah is written, found in this chapter 7 times. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, just like the elect found grace in the eyes of the Lord. The reason why we're the elect, we call ourselves hopeful elect. If we are of the actual elect, that means we were part of the elect in the previous lives. Everything is reincarnated, vocab Malone. These are the generations. Noah was a just man, just like Cornelius. Cornelius was just too. So how in the hell can he be an Edomite? He said Cornelius was a just man in Acts 10. So you got clowns out there still calling Cornelius an Edomite. Oh, he's an Edomite because the seven taught me that. The seven went off on certain things. That's why we here. Others have entered into their labor. That's us. Who's the authorities when it comes to, as vocab would say, Hebrew Israelism? Us. GMS, ISUPK, IUIC, many other groups. Sakari came out of us. You had many groups, certain groups that broke off from IUIC. They said these are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with the Most High. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, out of those 3 sons, Shem, the line went through Shem. Then out of Shem had 5 sons, Faxad, Lud, Aram, Ashur, and Elam. Elam are the Indians or the Pakistanis or the people of Iran, the Persians. But out of those sons of Faxad was that line. Then Eber came after that, which is the Hebrews. 13th verse, Genesis 6, verse 13. And the Most High said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come up before me, for the earth is filled with what? Violence. The earth right now is filled with what? Violence. I don't look. This is during and after the Crown Vicky. Prior to that Crown Vicky, you didn't see this shit. You didn't see people busting up in the stores, man. And this happened because of the elite over us. They're making this thing happen. People are busting in the stores. You know, Esau, Jake, other than mainly Jake and Esau. I'll say Jake mostly. That's what they show on the film. Like they like gremlins, man. And you know what? They're allowing that to happen. The police don't come. And the reason why they're doing that because ultimately they can bring in the charagma. So you can go into a store. There's a turnstile there. You won't be able to go in unless you have your charagma, and they'll tell you, it says this is so and so and such, and they'll tell you how much money you got. He's got $1,000 in his account because he got his what do you call that? Not stimulus check, your UBI, universal basic income, because he's not working. But that's another nice way of saying welfare. So he got $1,000. So he can go in and, you know, everything will be, there's security doors. Anything you want to get, you have to swipe your hand, your forehead. And there was an actual video on it of this Edomite. And they showed the doors, and you can see the different products. You swipe your hand, the door opens, you take one, it deducts. Let's say you take a gallon of milk, and it's $5. $5 will be deducted from your thing, and you can walk right out. Then you're gonna have robots around, and don't have no robot security because they're gonna fuck you up. Just like in that movie, what's that goddamn movie? Elysium, when them 2 robot cops, Popo, man, the dude told a little joke, and they busted him up. They broke his arm, and they're gonna be worse. They're gonna be worse than the Edomite cop. You know, you be nice. The Edomite cop ain't gonna mess with you, but don't fuck with them robots. And then they showed in that movie. Everybody should watch that movie again. They showed how he had to go. That's a heavy movie. That's a heavy movie right there. He went before some minute like welfare office, and he was talking to an actual robot. And that was the what do you call it? The social system that's happening in China. This thing is coming to pass, man. This thing is coming to pass. I'm a little all over the place, but that's all right too. So now let me do this. Let me come on back. So anybody that says the Nephilims are the angels that came down the ships, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. All right, there's a reason why we say we got 100% truth. There's a reason why we say that. So they went off on this one. Ezekiel 1:16 again, Revelation 16 and 14. Oh, good one. Acts 9, verse 3. Now, as he went on his way, he approached Damascus. This was Paul on a horse, and suddenly a light from heaven shone around him. So it was the Lord that came down in the ship, and he used a beam to knock him off the horse. And he was blinded. They say people that encounter, close encounters of the second kind, the third kind. I believe the fourth kind is when the alien ship put you to death, I believe. But they had people that claim that they were abducted or they saw UFOs, ship came down. They were always, for the most part, temporarily blinded. Was not Paul temporarily blinded for 3 days? Because he was looking up at that light. So it's temporary blindness. Read the whole, go to Acts 9 and read it. And this is right before Cornelius. So this is beautiful, man, because Cornelius was, brought into the circle of the gospel. And the chapter before that was Paul being converted so he can be set up to teach the gospel to the Gentiles. I magnify my office, which were Israelites scattered through Asia Minor. Yeah, Israelites all up in Asia Minor, Europe. He even witnessed to the Russians, which were the Scythians and the barbarians. A Russian man, they'll fight a Jake in a minute. See, Jake, they beat the shit out of Esau over here in America, but you ain't gonna beat up no Russian Edomites, man. They're different. They're a different breed of Esau, a different breed of Edo. I'm just looking at some of the other ones. Revelation 12. Okay, Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, O heavens. Actually, 12, verse 12 is not what I'm looking for. Beautiful, beautiful. They've been watching us. Psalm 68, verse 17. And the chariots of the Most High are twice 10,000, thousands, and upon thousands. 1,000 times 1,000 is a million. So you're going to have over a million ships come down. They're going to invade the whole planet. The Lord is among them. The Lord is among them. Sinai is now in the sanctuary. Ezekiel 10, and the cherubs mounted up. Yeah, here we go. Revelation 12 and 7. Now a war arose in heaven. Michael and his angels, led by Yahushua, fighting against the dragon, which is Esau, and the dragon and his angels. So that they had their fighter jets going up there, and the angels and the ships were just showing how far advanced they are They're gonna have fun with it, man. They're gonna have fun with it, and then they're just gonna say, you know what, just make them disappear, and or every fighter jet will be gone, will be uh, destroyed, liquidated, liquefied, a puff of smoke. Second Kings 2, verse 1. Now, when the Lord Yahweh was about to take Elijah, beam him up into a ship to heaven by a what? The whirlwind is a ship. Elijah and Elisha were on their way from Gilgal. There's one account, if I can spell Mulberry. Mulberry. I'm a lousy speller. Okay, Mulberry. Let's try Mulberry. That's not it. Mulberry. Let me try it this way. Bush. Let's see what comes up. Let me try trees. Okay, I found it. 2 Samuel 5, verse 23. And when David inquired of Yahweh, he said, thou shalt not go up, but this is when they were fighting the Philistines, I believe, but fetch a comp a, com, a compass behind them and come up and come upon them over against the mulberry tree. And let it be when thou heareth the sound of a going in the tops of the mulberry tree, that then thou shalt bestir thyself, for then shall the Lord go out before thee to smite the host of the Philistines. So what do you think? What do you think was on top of the mulberry tree? There were low UFOs that were touching the tops of the mulberry trees. So the Most High said, I'm gonna, and that happened with the Maccabees. The angels came down and helped the Maccabees. It actually goes into detail. And either I believe it's the second Maccabees, I gotta find it again. So this is the second time that this happened. But the Most High said, look, I'm gonna send the angels down to kill these Philistines. So the Most High didn't love everybody. He only loved Israel. So that should be in the scriptures too, 2 Samuel 5, verse 24. Those are angels and the UFOs. It said, Lord, he said, I will go before them, before thee to smite the host of the Philistines, which were Hamites. Revelation 10 should have been on this list as well, which is not. I don't see it. But anyway, let me do this, and I'm gonna get ready to close. I'll do it this way. All right, Neuralink. There was a video I watched, about maybe 3 minutes of it, that the head of the elder of Dallas did concerning the Neuralink. So I got up and I said, let me do a video. Now, you had animal trials that took place, what is it, 2-3 years ago, and now Elon Musk is open for human trials, but they couldn't get an approval. I believe they tried to get it in 2022, but they didn't get approval. So now they got approval as of I believe it was May 25th. So here it is. Has the FDA approved Neuralink? Elon Musk Neuralink has FDA approval to put chips in human brains. What have GMS been saying for years? And it's here right now. If it tarry, wait for it. So it shall surely come, it shall not tarry. So it's here now. And the Most High is subject to his prophecies. He can't go beyond his prophecies. That's in Romans chapter 9. Chapter 9, I think it's around 24th verse. Suffering the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction, meaning he can't just take this man out and set up the kingdom. These prophecies have to come to pass. It says, here's what's next. Neuralink has gained approval from the Food and Drug Administration to begin trials to implant brain chips into humans, June 9th, 2023. I think the approval actually came in May. And that's definitely the fulfillment of the forehead. How close is Neuralink to human trials? On at least 4 occasions since 2019, Musk predicted Neuralink would begin human trials, but the company sought FDA approval. Now remember, the juicy juice never got approved by the. It was emergency approval. It wasn't. They didn't get approval. So something was rotten in Denmark when they say the FDA says, "Nah, we ain't ready for that. We don't know what's gonna happen." And then here you got people taking it any fucking way. Approval only in 2022, and the agency rejected the application. Right, he put it in 2022. He said, "No, we ain't. No." Reuters reported in May 26, 2023. So now they have approval. Let's move on down. Then we get ready to close. What will Neuralink brain chips, we call it MOTB, do? Musk's ultimate goal is to develop a brain-computer interface that will, and because not everybody's going to get this, but the people are going to mostly get the thing in their hand, be used to help people with paralysis. And those people are going to line up. You want to walk again? You're going to, oh man, where do I sign up? You're blind, you're deaf. or a motor neuron disease to communicate, it will allegedly allow them to operate a computer, operate computers and mobile devices using their thoughts, but could have further uses in years to come. Think of Revelation 13 and 16 and 17. Let's deal with this one. Will Neuralink change the world? Yes, it's going to be a fulfillment of prophecies. Conclusion: Neuralink prosthesis or prosthesis, excuse me, have the potential to aid people in the future who suffer from a variety of neurological conditions, particularly those in which there is a disconnection or dysfunction between the brain and the nerves that serve the body. And we here at GMS, everybody gonna say, all these different guys are gonna say, oh shit, GMS was right. Oh shit, GMS was right. What are we gonna do now? What are we gonna tell the people? All these people are a bunch of zombies. Let's tell them anything. They'll believe it. They're a bunch of dumbasses. And keep window shopping. Implant. Our brain computer interface is fully implantable, cosmetically invisible, and designed to let you control a computer or mobile device anywhere you go. Half man, half robot, half woman, half robot. This is a fulfillment, Bible prophecy. Look, you got there. Revelation. This is Revelation. This is what John saw. Revelation. The Most High let him go into an operating room and see this, because the doctor has to do this, not a tattoo guy. You can put the charagma in your hand, but you got to actually go to a team of doctors that are surgeons to do this. So John saw it and wrote it down. Didn't know what it was talking about. He didn't say, "Oh, I know what it is. It's the C hip." Yeah. Here we go again. You can communicate with each other. And he purchased this company from, he purchased this company. He didn't invent this. So not everybody will get the Neuralink implant in the head, but everybody would have to get the implant in their hand. Anyway, so with that, I'm gonna say shalom.